what's up, Pits? Welcome back to the Cherry Pit podcast. This is the exciting debut of season 4. If you've never listened to our podcast before, we are Cherry Pit. This podcast is hosted by the Communications Student Union, or the CMNSU, at Simon Fraser University. We talk all things communication, including topics like movies and how they impact us, or music, all sorts of really interesting things. Trust me, it's not boring. My name is Melody. I am typically the host of this podcast. And for our debut of season 4, we have a really exciting episode for you. The next little bit is going to be the audio from our interviews that we did at our most recent CMNSU event. It's called Evolve. This is an event that we host every fall. It's a really great networking opportunity and a great way for students from all sorts of departments at SFU to get to know what the communication program is all about and to meet other students. And so, without further ado, here is Sofia, our other host, and her interviews with students and faculty members from Evolve.
Who am I here with today?
I'm cool. I'm a student at Communications.
Amazing. So we're like asking a few questions to different people, so I'm gonna like kind of jump around. What's your favorite communications class you've taken at SFU and why?
I would say the best class I've ever taken so far. Can I say 2? Because I love both of them. So I took one course with 452 with Race and Media with Naval. I love her. She's amazing. She's no longer with us in SFU anymore. She just got a different position somewhere else. So I would still say that was one of the best experiences I've ever had. Following that, it for sure is Christopher's podcast class. I never thought that I would do a course where I actually use an actual camera to use and do all those things that we are happening right now. So it was amazing and awesome.
It's awesome. I would say, like, I feel like I should take one of those classes that uses cameras and stuff like that, because we had to set up this camera for the podcast. I had no idea how to do it. I was like, Kofi, please help me. That was very annoying. What is your favorite class this semester? I think me and Akul are in a couple classes together, so I'm unsure if we're gonna disagree on this or not.
I'm not gonna lie. I have all my classes are fine, but I cannot say that anyone in specific is favorite one. But I would say all 3 are. I'm gonna say which ones are. You might figure out where Sofia is, so I'm not gonna break the character in that. So I'm gonna say 314 with Kristen McAllister. I love her. Second is with Christopher. I'm taking another course with 201. And a lot of people ask me, why the heck are you taking a 201 course in your last semester? And I tell them, because I paid for it. The first one would be 353 with our new director, Melena, and it has been really amazing so far. So all my courses have been really nice, to be honest, but it's very hard for me to pick one. But if you want me to do it, I will surely go with 201. Christopher, after doing so many courses in 400 levels, after doing so many things, and when coming back to a 200 level course, it just makes you feel loved. So 400, I would go with Christopher's 201. The best people, trust me, avoid that.
I love that. What are you planning on doing with your degree after this?
It's a little complicated, but yesterday I had a chat with one of my best friends, and I'm not gonna lie that he told me that you've been trying to forecast your expectations so high towards the various areas you want to explore, but I would like to go through the fashion journalism. Is something I would really, really want to do because I always wanted to be a model and do something. So he just suggested that why can't you just use your fashion credibility or do something with that and build upon that, because I think that will boost a lot of passion and forte for me to move on. And I think I was very, very, very nervous about my options, but he'll really help me a lot to figure it down to fashion. So I'm not sure what to do in fashion yet, but I might be doing something in marketing or fashion journalism, or I have no idea.
I love that, like a little maybe fashion blog or something, like a magazine.
Might work for a magazine or might work for a newspaper for articles or some kind of journalism if I can.
Love that. That's what communications is. That's why I took it, honestly, because you can do so much with it afterwards. It's kind of like open.
I would say that a lot of times I've come across people coming and questioning me that communication doesn't have a future. So I tell them, oh, let me get my degree done, and the first thing I'll do is not talk to you. So I'm certified not to talk to you. Second of all, I feel that no industry has no future is in the hands of anybody. You just build your own future, and I think if you have a passion to do something and you're leaning towards that, I think you should go for it, irrespective of XYZ, gender, sexuality, or school, or basically your parents telling you to not to do it. I feel that it is an amazing opportunity for you to do it for sure.
I love that. Thank you so much, Akul.
All right, thank you.
Who am I here with?
John. My name is John.
Awesome. What major are you and what year are you in?
I'm a fourth year comms major.
Awesome. What is your favorite communications class you've taken so far?
I would say a 400 level course with a prof called David. It's like social media editing. That's really interesting and fun.
That's awesome. What do you plan to do with your communications degree after this?
I'm looking into marketing, advertising. Hopefully, I get like a agency job somewhere here in Vancouver. So yeah, fingers crossed.
I love that. I feel like that's a
everybody, yeah.
a general answer. Yeah, that's what I want to do as well. Okay. What brought you to Evolve? Did you want to like talk to people? Did you want to listen to the profs?
Evolve is just a cool event to come up and connect with fellow comm students and maybe talk about future aspirations together. And maybe after graduating, we can connect in terms of jobs and stuff like that. Yeah.
Love it. What's the most valuable thing you think you've learned so far at SFU?
I guess like drawing from my classes, like just communications comes in all shapes and aspects, whether it's physical, digital. I think we have to look at it from a holistic standpoint.
That's awesome. That's a very intricate answer. I feel like mine would be a little more simple because I just like can't think of anything. Yeah, that's kind of everything I wanted to ask you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Who am I here with?
You're here with Gaius, multimedia coordinator.
What year are you in and what's your major?
I'm going into my third year, and I'm a communications major with no minors because, just because.
Communications for life. Yeah. So what are you planning on doing with your communications degree after this?
I really want to get into public relations or external communications. I feel like something about just connecting with people in a different aspect comes to me, like brand strategy, brand marketing strategy. That's my place.
I love that. Is there anything you're planning to do, like co-op, something else during your time here that's going to get you there, or are you just going with the flow?
Just going with the flow. Also, my work opportunities that I have around, I try to make sure that I get the most out of them because that's what helps me at the moment, even if I'm not planning on doing a co-op. But if an opportunity does come up, I'd be down for a co-op. Yeah.
What has been your favorite memory at SFU since you got here?
I think it really has to be joining CMNSU. It's been such a great experience meeting everybody and getting to know so many new people and hosting these events. It's like such a great networking opportunity as well. And then you get to meet so many faculty members. It's like, I don't even know about everybody and all the resources, You learn so much. I feel like that's like been one of my best times and like memories, I would say for sure.
Amazing. So we have two podcasts here at the CMNSU. We have the Chamber podcast, which is the one we're on right now. But we also have the Hear Me Out podcast, which is hosted mainly by Gaius and Val. So I wanted to know, what's your favorite thing about doing the Hear Me Out podcast, or memory, or something like that?
I feel like the Hear Me Out podcast is definitely more there just as student engagement. Like we have the Cherry Pit podcast, of course, and like it's great to have this here as well. It's really informational. There's so much we talk about, get to know about people. The Hear Me Out podcast is more there. I would say, like, if there was a personality hire, it would be the Hear Me Out podcast because it's really just there for the engagement. It's really just there to make connections. And I feel like just being there and having fun with our team. Like, there's like so many fun Halloween specials that we have. And it's like, if you see those, you'll be like, wow, they really had the time on their hands to do all that. And we really did have the time on our hands.
What is your favorite TikTok you've made? Or potentially, what TikToks would you want to make, but you're like not really allowed to because it's like a school page? Do you know what I mean?
So I do handle all the TikToks for CMNSU. And as much as there's like so much autonomy to that, there's certain things which you just cannot post. And I think a lot of them just have to do with like these trends that these trends I cannot partake in, you know? I cannot name these trends, but it's like you throw some shade here and there and that's not appreciated. But I feel like my best and my most favorite TikTok has to be one of the club stay TikToks that we did, meeting other clubs, asking their hot takes. It's been really popular for us as well. I feel like that was fun. Anything that really has to do with any other union or club ever, you know, it's my fun thing.
And lastly, what's your favorite thing about being in the student union?
Definitely the people. You get to meet so many cool people. There's so many team members who I have so much fun with, and events like these is what makes it so good. If you've not been to any club events ever, if you don't even go to clubs day, be here. Like, this is one place you can be and one place you can have fun at, even if you do not really like socializing anywhere else. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Hi, my name is Moira. I'm a communication student, and I'm also currently doing my co-op with the School of Communication.
I love that. What is your co-op about? What are you doing there?
Well, my name tag, I don't know if you can see it. It says I am the Outreach and Engagement Coordinator. What I do is that I attend a lot of recruitment events, a lot of fairs. I do a lot of school visits, and I attend a lot of the school events as well, just to generally promote the School of Communication and just to get the word out about how great this program is and how to get involved and to pretty much grow our communications family.
I love that. What would be like your number one advice or like just like talking point to why join communications?
Well, my communications journey is actually quite a fresh one. I officially became a communication student maybe about 3 semesters ago. And that came from an experience that I did last year. I went on the study abroad program. I participated in that. And I found out that through that experience, I was actually quite more of an extrovert than an introvert. I mean, I'm a little bit of both, but I gained a lot of fulfillment in making those connections, learning about people's histories and about different cultures. And when I came back from that experience, I was like, I kind of want to be doing a job related to networking and just meeting new people. And I want to also supplement that with my studies. So the advice that I would give students is that just to try as many things as you can in your undergrad. I've been a student for quite a long time now. If you actually know how long I've been here, you would laugh at me. And I can say now, even if I am only a couple semesters away from graduating, that I'll definitely miss being a student because it's kind of like you're being almost respected like an adult without having the adult responsibilities. And students get a lot of discounts. Like, people are just like, oh my god, you're so young. Like, you really embrace it. It's so fun being a student, and just get involved, start talking to people, and the connections that you make in university especially, you'll never know where that'll take you in your future, like maybe a job. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, definitely. I love the student perks. That's my favorite thing.
Oh yeah.
And also, it's kind of like you're playing an adult. It's not like you're fully there, but
Yeah.
you're there. Lastly, like, what is your favorite thing that you've done with your co-op, or like what you're gonna do with your co-op in the future? Like, what are you most excited about?
Right. So I've been doing a lot of high school visits as part of one of the biggest jobs as part of the co-op. And I've had the opportunity to talk to a lot of high school students about what communication really is, because maybe some of them have maybe some misconceptions, or they just don't quite know, like, oh, what is communication? And they're all just like, it's where you learn how to communicate. And it's like, no, it's just more than that. And then you get to introduce some really cool topics. For example, for one of my communication presentations, I talked about a project I did in CMNS 314, which is cultural production of popular music. And I actually wrote an entire academic research paper supplemented by an audiovisual piece about Charlie XCX's Brat album.
Oh, I love that.
And the response I got from all the students in that high school, they were like, "Oh my god, like that's so Brat, that's so Julia," and I'm like, "I know, period." Like, I literally like had the opportunity to get something I was passionate about and put it into an academic context, and in that way, the work that I did for that project didn't feel like work. So, yeah, that's I just love being a communication student and being a communication co-op. Get to share that and inspire other students as well to kind of open the world to communication.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Watch Cherry Pit. No, listen to Cherry
Listen
Pit.
to Cherry Pit. Who am I here with?
Matthew.
What do you do at the CMNSU?
I'm a multimedia coordinator.
And what's your major and what year are you in?
I'm in my 4th year for communications.
Same, twins.
Oh, yes.
Yes. What is your favorite class you've taken so far?
Oh, it's probably one of my video design courses. It's either this one or the other one. I do not remember the course number for, so sorry if anyone's interested, but one of them was, the one I have now is David Murphy, I believe his last name is. And before it was with Chris J, and they're both great professors and really engaging, so it's like one of those for them.
I love that. What are you planning to do with your communications degree after this?
Honestly, I have many different aspirations. Broadcasting is like my dream situation, but obviously that's they're not jobs easy to find in that kind of role. So honestly, I'm kind of open towards anything really. But I'm doing stuff related to like community engagement right now through co-op and contract jobs, and honestly, I kind of enjoy it. So maybe something like that.
What are you doing in your co-op right now?
I finished my co-op already, so I'm on contract with them right now, and right now I am helping people that are neurodivergent learn, get some digital literacy skills. Yeah.
Very cool. What would you say like you learned the most from your co-op?
I guess being willing to slow down and take time on projects, because I remember like in school sometimes you rush things or deadlines, or you like leave things last minute, or right. But when I was doing my co-op, I was kind of rushing things, thinking I need to do everything right away, super fast, and just pump things out like it's fast food. But sometimes it's okay to slow down and make some gourmet.
I love that. That's great advice. Finally, for advice, what would you say to your if you were going to talk to yourself in first year? What would you say to him?
That's hard. I would say be willing to I guess speak more in like class and I guess because even I'm still like guilty of this right now sometimes when I don't get comfortable to maybe like the 4th week or the 3rd week to start speaking in raising my hand or whatever. Just do it because you don't really got much to lose. It's not high school. You don't need to be embarrassed. It's post-secondary, and I guess just socialize a little bit more.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm here with
Owen.
What's your major and what year are you in?
I'm in 3rd year and I'm a history major.
Awesome. Oh my god, I'm a history minor. That's super cool. Have you taken communications classes before?
Absolutely nothing. No.
What was your entice to come to Evolve today?
To come to Evolve, I mean, kind of double. One, that I've heard way too much about communications from my partner, and 2, that she's here, so that's why.
I love it. Supportive. What is your favorite class you've ever taken at SFU?
Favorite class? I think I have one on totalitarian regimes and like gender-based violence in Latin America right now. That's really interesting. I mean, it takes a little bit of effort to show up to mentally, but it's really fun.
I love that. I don't really remember. Last semester, I took a history of happiness class. Pretty interesting. It was with, I forgot who it was with, honestly. But I kind of been like basing these around communications questions. So like, what do you think? This is a good one. How would you describe communications?
Like as a field?
Yeah, like if someone were to come up and ask you like, what is communications? What would you say?
Oh, good lord. I mean, I'd say on a base level, it's probably just the ability or like the knowledge to communicate, but then it can also branch out into a lot of different places, right? Like it can branch out into a more writing focused or research focused directive that goes over how people like how media can be interpreted and how you can target audiences. It of course you can go straight into media editing, but then or like media production. But then it can also go into stuff like HR jobs. It can go into the business field. I think it can go pretty much anywhere as long as you have kind of the grit to apply yourself. But
I love that. That's like the most educated answer of anyone who's non-communications that I've heard of recently. What do you plan to do after school? Are you going back into school, or are you going out to do some work, or?
I got about a year and a half left on one degree. Then I'm going to do my master's. Then I'm going to go probably to McGill, hopefully, for my master's. And then I'm going to do my education degree. And then from there, I want to teach either high school or college.
That's awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. So, what is your name and what do you do here at SFU?
My name is Sheena Clarkson, and I am a first-year academic advisor as well as a recruiter.
Awesome. What is your favorite part of your job here at SFU?
My favorite part of my job is telling people about SFU and getting them excited to study and helping them along and figure out all the tough stuff, because I know that the school is very bureaucratic. There's a lot of rules and interpreting them can be tough, or knowing where things are is very difficult. So I love being a great resource to help decode the mystical codes of SFU.
I love that so much. I think that I feel like as a student also I felt very lost when I got here first. Like in my first year, I'm in my fourth year right now, so I feel a little more stable in my major. What would you say to first years? What's your best advice for first years?
My best advice for first years is to put yourself out there and be open to opportunities. So many opportunities are going to be presented to you that all you have to do is just say yes, or even look for them. Another thing for first years is you kind of mentioned feeling lost in your first year. That's a quintessential feeling that everybody has, no matter how much they know, how familiar they are, how established they are. That's a part of the feeling. So embrace that. Don't judge yourself for not knowing everything. Don't judge yourself for not doing things right the first time. This is the opportunity to learn, make mistakes, do new things, try old things again. I think you should really embrace that feeling of newness and get to know as many people as you can.
That. So we learned that you were a communication student at SFU. What was your favorite thing about being a communication student at SFU?
I loved the topics I got to learn about. Back in a long time ago, I took a class with Stuart Points on media and culture, and I got to learn about how the credit card was created and what purpose it served, as well as different things about Barbie, and it was just, being able to kind of take these big pop culture things and then put them into place and see how the meaning was developed, as well as the implications of it throughout the real world. And I was even saved the book from that class. I think it's called the Consumer Society Reader. And every once in a while I pull it out just to read different chapters and be like, oh my gosh, I still get it. And, everything we learned here is so cool. So I really love the courses and the topics and seeing how it's changed.
That's amazing. I absolutely love your passion for communications. I feel like that's essential for an advisor here to really know the topic. Lastly, I'd say, what is your best advice moving forward for students to look at master's programs, or are you only specifically first year advisor, or do you start let me reframe the question. Do you think that first years should be looking ahead already once they get here, once they start their communications degree, and if they want to look at graduate programs or something like that, do you think that it's important for them to start first year right away, or can they just take their time and look through topics that they want to research and stuff like that?
So I feel like you asked quite a few things. So I mean, in terms of grad school, I would just say, because not everyone's ready for grad school immediately. Grad school can be something that you do a few years down the road. I always just recommend kind of putting yourself in the best position to accept that opportunity if it were to present itself to you. That's what I did. I made sure I had a 3.01 so I could get into grad school. And that decision is not made for me that because I didn't get a good enough GPA. So I think grad school is just one of those things where you need to be really what's the word? You need to be really sure about what you're studying and what your passion is, because a lot of my friends have master's degrees and I'm kind of the only one who doesn't. So I'm always very envious because I'm like, I want a master's degree. But a lot of them hated their masters. And a big part of it was because they didn't do it for the right reasons or they didn't go to the right school. So I always kind of say, like tonight at the evening, we heard follow your passions, follow the things that you're good at, and work hard that way, because I think that my friends who did their masters that weren't happy with it didn't follow their passions, didn't do what they were good at. They kind of followed different perspectives. So they're like, this master's will get me a job, therefore. So they kind of did it that way. That being said, follow your passions. Maybe your master's isn't the right fit for you. Maybe it will be at another time. Maybe you'll consider going and doing a diploma after. Never stop learning, and don't knock different opportunities based on whether or not they're a high enough level of pedigree. Because another thing I always tell people is my husband did his master's at UBC in mining engineering at the same time that I did my little diploma at BCIT. And I can tell you, my diploma was way harder than his master's in mining engineering. And just because it was a diploma doesn't mean that it wasn't worth anything.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you so much.
I hope you had a great time.
Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. If you're interested in watching the footage from Evolve, you can check out our YouTube page, SFU CMNSU. And if you're interested in learning more about us, you can check out our website, www.cmnsu.com. And we do most of our posting on our Instagram page, which is just at CMNSU. You can go learn a little bit more about us there, see updates on this podcast and other content and other events that we have going on. Thank you guys so much for listening. Bye, Pits.